Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? I'm back at you with yet another car video. Let me adjust the camera. Shit, I'm gonna put that on some t-shirts. Let me adjust the camera. Anyway, proximity is key. Yeah, y'all. It's funny because I was thinking about doing this video since yesterday. Sometimes I get confused when I'm working on. Still adjusting this camera. Because on one of my private sites, we were having a good discussion about proximity. Because we got some players on my site, on my private site. Like they could probably do videos themselves, and they give me a lot of feedback. What's happening out here, you know? Give me a lot of feedback. They see what I don't see. I got one. He know who he is. The Holler Monster. That dude. But he had a good point about something we were discussing and about proximity. Because he was saying, most men ain't going to meet a woman through cold approach or even choosing signals. Because that's just like random, like you just bopping down the street and, you can just approach a woman. In fact, how often y'all actually see that? Y'all don't see a lot of dudes approaching women out here if you just going along. And we know most of y'all ain't doing that anyway. And then choosing signals, women real slick. They'll look you up and down like they can see the scar on the back of your neck. And your neck is covered and stuff. So they choosing and they looking at you, but you don't know it. But most people gonna meet through proximity. Because I was thinking about that in the gym, right? Because, I'm doing my thing. And, I was watching this youngin' and stuff do some squats. Oh, that's it. Let me go off on a little tangent real quick. You got some people against the body game and stuff think they can be in any type of shape. Shoot, these youngins out here, these women period, they blasting those butts out. They be on the squat rack more than some dudes. Shit, I saw this youngin' on the squat rack with one of those wobbly butts. Like, and shoot, had another woman spot her. I was like, shit. Yeah, she giving Rom that eye too. But, speaking of proximity, I got a lot of people looking at me in this joint. And, it's funny. I was reflecting on that conversation on my private site. I was reflecting on it. I say, that's usually where I be meeting a lot of people. Because, I'm a grown-ass man. You get some people talk about, hey, let us see you, like, pick up somebody. Man, I ain't into no dumb pickup shit. I'm a grown-ass man. I look out here with some camera following me and shit, right? But usually when I meet women, it's usually just at the gym, at the grocery stores, women who might work in a mall I might frequent, restaurants. They say, hey, you back? I know what you want. I know your order. Shit. And that's most people. So, if that's the case, people need to really, good filming be to look at the camera, but I gotta know when I gotta pop out. Oops. Okay, this dude's slow. Alright, hey. Anyway, sometimes you just got both guard. Anyway, most of the time you're gonna meet somebody in your ecosystem, so your environment. So one of the most important things is to determine what's in your environment. And your environment ain't necessarily your geographical location, not necessarily, but it's just like, well, look, okay, me for example, what do? I go to 2 different gyms, right? Really 3, because I take my sons to a 3rd gym. So you got some days I might be at 3 different gyms, so I'm seeing people there. This time of year, I gotta get some clothes and stuff. So I might be in some malls and stuff, or, I ain't eating as much in restaurants because I got that goal of dropping 30 pounds. And, restaurants aren't conducive to that. But, when I go, I'll be meeting some folks. Hold on a second. Let me pop this air. Well, this defrosters. It's up there raining out here. Hold on. I don't like talking over. Alright. Open this window just a little bit. Alright, okay. We got the clearness. But most of the time, you're going to meet people, just in the course of your life. So one of the things somebody has to ask themselves is if they running into, I'm going to call them bottom feeder women, the ones that people make, 500 videos on. You got to say, well, what environment am I in? Where am I hanging out at? And look, I've told some people, it's like, man, you might have to just move. Seriously, get your paper up and move, or find some better places to go or to hang out. It's funny, women on my women's channel get that point. I tell them, but some other dudes rather just complain what's in their environment. But nah, if that's what you're running into, and even going to the gym or something, you can meet a lot there. Just be consistent. You don't even have to talk to anybody. Just do your workout. They'll come up to you, be like, hey, nice traps, which I hear a lot. Or look at those calves, which I hear a lot. Actually, I got a lot of stories about that, but I'm going to keep some stuff to myself. But, yeah, just, the ordinary life. Like, you get some coaches talk about, being on your purpose and everything, just living your life. That's really the best way, though. It's like, don't go out your way to really meet anybody, but just live your life so you meet them in the rhythm of your life. Because usually if you meet somebody there, you usually automatically going to have something in common with them. Like, I don't know, you might frequent a game store or something, right? Or a comic book store. Let me use that as an example, because I know some dudes be thinking, yeah, well, I don't see women where I'm at. I'm a nerd. I be liking all that other stuff. Shit, my local comic book store, because I told you I still collect. Shit, I always see some decently built female in it. Always. And shit, I remember we went to a comic book convention with my sons, and nothing but women in there. Nothing but, it's probably more women than men. So a lot of times, and then when you meet a person, you already got something automatically in common with them. And, since we, this is a select manosphere. Let me throw that in somebody's face. Select manosphere. Rom got just a little bit of petty with him. Just a little bit. It's like, I got a lot of petty, y'all just don't know. But a lot of times when you see some guys doing a lot, they just master their environment. They pay attention. That's it, seriously. Like, think about your environment, then master it. See, okay, who in it, who doing what type of women in it. Because like I said, I'm going to like 3 different gyms on some days, and I'm paying attention to the environment. It's like, oh, okay, all these tight-bodied women. Yeah. Get that little smile going. Let me see something. Yeah, I'm using this joint as a mirror. But yeah, the proximity thing, because I mean, let's be honest, man. Everybody talking about choosing signals, but how many of y'all getting choosing signals? Let's be real. Raise your hand. How many of y'all like getting choosing signals on a consistent basis? Let me be clear about choosing signals. And I'm somebody who talks about looking for them, but the reality is, a lot of times, you got to distinguish between a woman just checking you out and she really choosing you. Women check out everybody, even ugly dudes, even if it's for 3 seconds. And when I say check out, they looking them up and down, even if it's just to say, dude is unattractive to them. You got to recognize when that choosing signal is a real, she's really interested. She really want to get with you. And approaching don't really work that well in the real world. It really don't, like constant, because if a woman walking down the street, a lot of times she's on her way to something, and to do it constantly, like every now and then, maybe if you say, she real fine, but to do that constantly, it'd be a exercise in futility for most men. But when you know that woman's going to be at the gym, or usually see her at the grocery store at a certain time, or at a bus stop. Because when I was still working in the government in DC, when I was coming home, I always clocked whenever I saw certain women at certain bus stops, and then maybe walk past them a few times, let them get used to seeing me. than just be like, hey, how you doing? Boom. Works better than the club for me. But yeah, that proximity thing, always think about that. In fact, really, as a man anyway, just in general, you need to be paying attention to everything around you anyway, everything in your environment. Because I think I made a comment a few weeks ago about seeing some new homeless guy I hadn't seen before. Because even in this area I live in, I pay attention to everything. I see everything. I pay attention when I'm just driving. That's even when sometimes I'm driving now, I'm looking around. Because I'm like, nah, he ain't running up on me. I remember I was in Atlanta airport and I did a IG thing and I told people, don't run up on me. And there was a brother, he actually walked up nice and peaceful because he saw the IG. But yeah, you pay attention to your environment. Who's in your environment? You know, where they gonna be at? You know, take your time. Just clock them. Because honestly, women be doing that though. Women will clock, if they see a fine dude or a dude they consider attractive in their environment, they clock him. And then conveniently put themselves in his path. I lost count of how many women told me that's what they did. And even some women with me. You meet them and stuff, you thought it was some random shit. They say, oh yeah, I saw you when you were wearing this. I was like, damn, I was like, when? That was 6 months ago. Damn. So anyway, proximity is key, y'all. Always remember that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm in that lane for the school turning off. Let me change over real quick. Anyway, y'all, that's it for today. Leg day. I'm a little tired and stuff. Oh, let me say something real quick, because I did a video a few weeks ago about upper body being key. It still is, because a lot of people kept calling it, well, work on legs too, work on legs. Anybody seen a picture of me in shorts or something? No, that's not an issue. Reason I had said upper body is easier for a woman to say it, unless you one of those dudes be wanting to wear those skin tight pants, and you know we don't do that here. We don't do that with this channel. So most of the time she can't really tell much. She can get a general idea, maybe if she one of those women who like that ass, but the upper body though, she can always tell that. She can spot your shoulders from like a mile away. So that's why I focus on that. Definitely focus on the entire body though, but would it draw a woman quick? And really on a metaphysical level is your upper body. It represents your masculinity more. So now definitely work on your legs and stuff. That's where your power comes from. But honestly, to get like real muscular legs and big calves and stuff, a lot of it's genetic. But you can control the upper body a little bit better. So definitely, let me just be definitive. Definitely work on everything. But what women looking at is more the upper, unless you got shorts on, and that's only some time of the year. So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace and blessings.